Um, so this is evaluation question 4, and it's about how media technologies have helped me in the research, production and evaluation process. So I guess we'll start with the most important one, I guess, and that is Blogger. And Blogger was mainly used for us to store all our research. It was very key in the research and planning process, and it allowed us to keep everything organized and easy to present and store data we collected. For example, using SurveyMonkey, we're able to collect different data, and on Blogger we're able to lay out nicely and store it there. It was quite easy to use, and since we did have previous experience from the year before, it was just easy to get around and use. Second thing we used, I found quite useful, is Prezi. I think Prezi is quite a more creative way to present your work, other than like a PowerPoint, for example, as there's more options for different transitions and more fonts. There's just more variation in how you can present your work. And a thing similar to Prezi is SlideShare, which basically helped in embedding the PowerPoint onto Blogger. Also used it before, so it's quite easy, but with PowerPoint it often just takes quite a long time, and it's actually time consuming to keep copying and pasting each slide to post on Blogger. So SlideShare just allows you to embed the whole slide in one, and it takes more room. It takes up less room, and it's more efficient, and just looks clean on the actual page. The next thing I want to talk about is Google Maps, as I feel like it played a key part for us in choosing the location for filming. Apart from for previous experiences and just general knowledge of the different locations in London, we decided to use Google Maps to search for an isolated area, as we wanted to portray a character as being lonely and isolated, so we really didn't want to have too many people around in the key scenes, and this is how we were able to find a location at Boston Manor and also Brentford. Other locations were in a school, and we didn't really need Google Maps for that. Google Maps did allow us to see many locations at once, but it didn't give us enough detail about what they're like and other things like that. But it also gave us a way to get to transport and how we can get there the fastest way. So we did that, and after scouting our location using Google Maps, we then went there ourselves, potentially took pictures and shared them with the group. This also leads me on to the next point: how mobile phones are used as apart from communication, obviously, to meet up. We also use phones to take pictures of the locations and then feed back to the rest of the group. Mobile phones are small and easy to carry, and we knew how to use them, so very useful. Another thing is the search engines that we use. Mainly it was Google Chrome and Safari, and this is where basically most of the research was done. So we'd use it to look at the different conventions, so pick out any secondary research that anyone else has done before. We already had lots of experience using them, as we do use them on a daily basis. That was definitely not a problem. Next thing is Microsoft Word and PowerPoint. I think this is very easy, and they're the basic programs, and this was used for something like lyrics analysis, digipack analysis, or magazine advert analysis. So with PowerPoint you're easily able to copy and paste a picture and then easily annotate it, while with Word you can nicely keep an organized line document. So this was perfect for analyzing the lyrics, for example. Next thing is YouTube, and this is where we uploaded all our videos edited on Final Cut Pro. and also some audio clips if we didn't want to upload them to SoundCloud. This made it easy to keep all our videos in one place, and if there's a group of 4, we didn't really want to have too many questions, so we decided to upload all those videos to one channel, and then anyone could have access to them and post them on the blog, and then or even edit further for evaluation. The videos, the uploading to YouTube is quite fast, and you could upload at a high quality of 1080p or 720p, and this is also where the actual final music video was uploaded, and we had to make sure that we used the highest rendering settings to ensure that the quality was really good. And as I think in music videos nowadays especially, quality is extremely important. Next thing is Photoshop. So Photoshop was one of the 2 editing programs we used, but Photoshop was used for the text products. So both the print products were made there, and it allowed us to manipulate the pictures we gathered from photo shoots, for example at the theatre in school, but also take screen grabs and just edit them. For example, for the Digipack, I added a photo filter, reduced the vibrance, and also added a posterize effect, and this kind of made the whole Digipack look the same, and with the lower saturation kind of had synergy with the music video in a way. So yeah, this is, I think Photoshop is really good for creating like a professional looking Digipack, and as well as the magazine advert, as we were able to change the dimensions first, because magazine advert has to be different, has to be more of a portrait style, while the Digipack was more of a landscape resolution. So Photoshop allowed us to change that, make sure it was what we created was the right size and was professional. Next thing is Photo Booth. So this is where we filmed a large amount of our feedback, as it allowed us to place the audience in front of the screen, and while with the clip right in front of them, so they could react to it raw, and we could get the reaction right there and just record it straight away without any like long setup. It was easy to set up, and it was also very easy to use, as we could just do it with one button. However, with Photo Booth, they used the webcam microphone, which is a lot lower quality, and also picked up a lot of background audio, which could be distracting while watching it back. So that was a big disadvantage. Next thing I want to talk about is the use of the Canon and Nikon DSLRs. So we actually decided to use 2 cameras instead of 1, and this was to speed up the recording process. And we still recorded for quite a long time, but with the 2 cameras we are also able to produce more, I guess, efficient photo shoots. So for the Digipack or magazine cover, we're able to take multiple pictures at once, and then just pick out the best ones. But while recording with 2 cameras, we were able to film from 2 different angles, and this gave us more choice in the editing process. So if one clip wasn't good enough, we had like more clips to use as a backup. Also, I used a different lens on the Nikon camera, and this lens had a larger zoom, and also had a stronger focus. So this camera was used for mainly for the performance shots, where we really want to capture the emotions of the artist, as that was something we really wanted to put an emphasis on, while the other camera was used for the more wider shots, where we wanted to show more of the setting as well, and this was where more of the shots during the verse where Callum is seen in multiple different settings, like Boston Manor Park, for example. Apart from the high quality videos from the DSLRs as well that they offered, we also realized that we could use the screen grabs from the actual videos that we recorded, and we could also put them on our print products. However, they did seem a bit blurry, and this is why instead we opted for a photo shoot. So next thing, final thing I'd like to talk about is Final Cut Pro. This was the second editing software we used, and Final Cut Pro was we did use it the year before too, and it is quite similar to other programs I was familiar with, like Adobe Premiere Pro. And this allowed us to simply edit and upload all our videos to YouTube. And this is the program we use to edit any video, including just research. So if we, for example, recorded anything on Photo Booth, we'd still put it in Final Cut Pro and then upload it to YouTube. Final Cut Pro had plenty of features that could like enhance the quality and also manipulate the actual how the clip looks. So for us especially, many clips were filmed on multiple days and even different seasons. For example, some clips were shot in the snow while the others were just shot in a rainy day. But so obviously since we use natural lighting as our main source, I guess the characters would look very different, and we didn't really want that, as that would just ruin continuity in our video. So by using Final Cut Pro, I was able to change the colors and the mood, like the feel of each clip, to make them all look the same. And also Final Cut Pro allowed to add more effects such as slow motions, and we did use quite a lot of them in our video. And I think slow motions work really well with the genre, the alternative pop genre, as it kind of highlights the emotions of the character too. So however, this was the Final Cut Pro was only available to me in the school, so at home I had to use Adobe Premiere Pro, which is quite hard to switch between constantly, as they had different hotkeys, and also the different how you save the file would come up in a different format. So that was quite challenging and I think time consuming. So I definitely, for the future, I'd probably just try to use just the same program. I think overall, if I was to look at it, I think this year with digital technologies, I think we were a lot more successful in using them, as we have already more experience with them. But I definitely think that Photoshop was still quite challenging at the start, because it is very different to more simple programs that we're used to, such as PowerPoint. So I guess Photoshop may have been time consuming at the start. Apart from that, many programs we use were just technologies we use were just simple and we already had knowledge of, or something that was just we had to use, like a Canon DSLR. But thank you for listening. Yeah.